The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the QATV staff or board of directors. QATV, in compliance with FCC regulations, is prohibited from exercising control over the content of independent, member-produced public access programming.
I'm Krystyne Cheever, and it's the All Friends Cabaret, the show that connects you. Well, I am with a very special guest tonight who really is very familiar with this studio. She is Miranda, author, television producer, host. Welcome to the All Friends Cabaret. I'm so glad that you're back. So I just want to share that Karen hosted a show right here in Quincy, and it was her show called Whispers from the Other Side. I'm sure you all were familiar with it. So Karen, what have you been up to? I know you're still producing that show, and you had a huge following here in Quincy.
Yeah, I actually started my show up last January at Easton Community Access Television.
All right.
Up again.
And then you were here at QATV, and that was the show you produced here in Quincy, what, like 2018 or
2018 was the last time I was here.
Yeah.
QATV.
Yes.
So it was like a long time, 6 years ago.
Yeah, yes. However, you would tell everyone what the premise of the show is.
My show is I feel and see dead people, and I draw people that passed away.
Yes. And what was awesome is what was it? Last spring, I was able to come on Easton Access Television, and you it was Whispers from the Other Side, but the caveat was I would sit there, and she's like, I'm going to see who shows up, and you started drawing, which I find that so unique. So you let whatever, whomever is near you give you. So when you were giving me clues, right? And you're talking to me, and I'm thinking, oh, well, you're trying to ask questions. And
no, I don't ask questions.
Oh, no, what do you do? What do you do?
Yeah, I just give the reading and stay who's around.
Right. It's not really asking questions. It's a probing.
Information. We just got that graphic back up, actually.
Right. Don't tell her who it is.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, okay, you were saying things, and you're drawing, and it was amazing. The drawing that you produced was my husband's aunt, who had just passed away. I was like, I know that person. It was unbelievable. You really have a gift, and you've had that gift a long time, correct?
But it's not about me. It's about being a messenger for people who visit their loved ones. I'm looking for closure, healing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I've had the gift since I was little, like everybody.
And what is some of the feedback you've gotten from your show with people? Are they more shocked?
They're more shocked because, especially because I was taught with the Reverend to get that very special piece of evidence that I would have no way of knowing. And so, you don't know who is, and do they come to you in like a voice? Is it an essence? How do you see them? They come to me in all different ways.
All right.
Sometimes it's color, and then I get the messages, which the Reverend did say. That's one of the best ways to see them. Sometimes it's like Whoopi Goldberg in the movie Ghost.
Is it?
They walk through people. They transform through people to be that way. And sometimes I'll see partials of them, which is the hardest form of mediumship. But a lot of it's like showing things that they owned, which is what we call the special piece of evidence.
Like items and things of that nature.
They owned, and it's usually about their lives and what the person did, because I'm a clairsentience medium. which I could feel the presence of people around me.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yes, and right here you used to have a call-in show, and it was live, right? And so people would call in, and you could kind of get the sense
Right.
from being on the phone with them. And then you went to and you brought your show on the road. So now
Right.
it has a new home. And how often do you air
I'm
and
there
film?
I'm there once a month at QATV in Eastern Massachusetts.
Nice,
And
nice.
and the staff there is wonderful. They're just like here, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So, yeah.
wonderful. Yeah, and it's nice you've been able to bring that creativity to another, wherever you went,
And
when
it
you
even-
moved.
And it even went to another level from what I was here. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? So
Yeah, tell me about that.
it's with the drawings and stuff like that. So
Right, but because before this was just a straight up call-in show, right?
With symbols and little things on, like I used to draw on the paper because I could still, you know what I'm saying? So it was that part of it. It started here a little bit with the dabbling with what was going on, but a lot has happened since then.
Right.
Somehow it just enhanced.
Right, and now you have the drawings. You do either a live guest in your studio during, or you do a smaller version of the show. You were saying 30 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. That's
Yeah.
great. I mean, I'm glad you're back home.
I know.
Where it all started. She came in tonight and she was like, oh, it feels so different to be here. It's like, well, you've come back,
Right.
you know?
I know.
That's
We're
great.
going home, you know?
Yeah, it's like coming home again. So tell me a bit about your next venture, which isn't your first venture. We want to talk about you being an author. And so what got you to start writing? And then we'll talk a bit about your book. your
When
current
I
book.
started having my experiences with the people that have passed away, I started writing a diary of my life and stuff like that. I left it in its entire because it's a diary. You know, you do the mistakes and cross things out and all that stuff. So that one got published, and
And what's the name of that book?
that's called Diary of a Spirit Medium.
All right. And so it had was it short stories? Was it
Yes.
just different? Now, did you have different people? Is it people who knew or?
It's just a
Anybody.
different, you know, learning experiences with it and everything like that.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
how long did you know that you had this gift?
since I was 12.
And is it something that just,
Happened.
yes.
Actually, no.
All right.
Because I could tell when people were going to pass away when I was like a teenager and knew somebody was going to cross away. But 26 years ago, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis.
Okay.
And something shifted where it brought all of this.
It opened up for
It
you
opened up
more of a.
door. Yeah.
Yes, because right before we started filming tonight, I was asking Karen, I had a really, and this happens with me sometimes, I'll have a dream and someone who's passed away shows up, either younger and they never talk to me. I wish they'd talk to me. I'm like, oh, I saw my friend's mom who passed away years ago. I loved Sherry. And, but she was younger. She was fixing something for me, and I go, oh, there she is, and then that was it. It's very brief, but tell me a little about that.
It's that special stuff that she was showing you.
Yes.
Because people would understand that.
Yeah.
And it was like her memory she was sharing with you, and spirit will give you what you can handle. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like you can
Right.
handle seeing them in dreams. So
Yes.
you recognize that dream because that's actually a good thing.
Yeah, before we get to your writings, I wanted to ask about, do you have I've heard this before with mediums, that you smell phantom smells. What do you think of that?
I don't have that.
Okay.
I'm very lucky, but you know.
Do some people have that where they can
Yeah.
smell like a meal or something?
Oh yeah, no, I do have that. I thought it meant
Oh,
in a bad way.
No, not in a bad way.
No. I smell roses and stuff like that, and I smelled hot dogs before, but when I was
Really?
validated with somebody and stuff like that, and I smell cologne. So that's a special perfume that they owned. That you know.
Does that mean they're around you, or?
They have a message for somebody else.
All right.
unfinished business that they want to get a message across to somebody else.
And then lastly, what about I've heard that's like when you're in that dream state, I've talked to you about this before, where you're half sleeping, half awake, you see things.
Right.
Tell me about that.
It's the twilight state.
Okay, what does that mean?
That means you're in the dream state, but in the earth plane, you know what I'm saying? So.
But does that mean you're seeing things or not?
Oh yeah,
Is
no,
it-
that
okay.
does, because they can give you, like I said, they give you what you can handle, and you know what I'm saying? So.
Yes.
And it's like, those are visits. Those are real. They're not fake or anything like that. And you might have a message for somebody else.
Yeah, that is amazing. Well, you've brought a lot of comfort to people. I mean, I find that this is a subject that is fascinating because we've all lost a
Yeah.
loved one. And so you'd love to, when you can possibly hear that, you know, they're doing okay and give comfort, right,
Yeah,
to
and
those.
comfort and healing. That's what mediumship is about. And foreclosure, it's not about me. It's about the loved one and the person getting their reading. You
Right,
know what I'm saying?
right.
That wants to hear from that loved one, you know, and knowing that a lot of times people want to know if they're okay and not
Yes.
alone on the other side. So.
And right. Well, this is so fascinating. What I want to get to now, though, is your book, Journey with the Animals. Tell me, as an author, how did you come up with this book idea?
When I got divorced in 2018,
Okay.
I packed up my bags and moved to Plymouth and
All right.
rented a house down there. And I said, you know how cold it is when you live near the water, but it's beautiful.
Oh, right.
And I said, okay, so what am I going to do? And I never really even considered myself an artist back then, you know. And I said, I'll draw animals. So I sat at the kitchen table with the cheap piece of paper like a lot of artists do, and just started drawing. Hey, that's a pretty cool bear on there. Then I went from the bear to a fox, then an elephant, and a turtle, and all these things just came on the paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice. And then did you, because what's the age range for this
The
book?
age is baby and up to 3 years old.
Oh, all
But
right.
people, for somebody that kids like to touch when they're really little, so little ones, like a mom could read a bedtime story to somebody, and if they can't read, the mom can read, but the child will get to touch and the
And
baby,
see the
so-
pictures.
Yes.
And so tell me about so you drew all, so did you just say, all right, I'm going to draw different animals and do the sketching? And then what brought the story to life?
The story to life was as I was in the Rosary Park down at White House Beach, and some of the notes are in here.
Oh, okay.
So I started writing this down. I said, I got stuck with one of them. Said, I know somebody I can call, a friend Andrew Corbett, who also worked in the station and helped out and things like that. So he helped me with like one of the animal stories that I was stuck on, and I would just go and absorb the nature and everything like that, and I just started writing things down because I have the original writings.
And did you always think it was going to be a kid's book, or you didn't know?
I didn't know because I was used to writing other stories, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, about the spiritual world, and never a children's book. That was the furthest thing from my mind.
Right, right. And so then how did it come together?
It all came together when something just pushed me. You gotta get it done,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So it all came, and I had to trust in the universe.
Yes,
You know?
yes. And then did the process of, okay, so you have these papers, you have drawings, you have writings, you wrote down, and you what, matched it with each?
Each of the stories.
Okay, okay, and the pictures.
And the pictures.
And then did you go, okay, now what do I do?
Yes, I did. Because it was 4 years in the making with the book, and I said, but that was pretty quick with that one at least. And I said, okay, but I know who I can turn to with all this stuff.
All right.
And with Andrew Corbett, you know, and
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, that's the thing. What people don't realize is sometimes these kind of paths to get you to where you didn't think you'd land. You
Right.
didn't think you'd write a kid's book.
I know.
But that you actually took the time, and it took 4 years.
Right. But
That's-
plus it's all pencil drawings, and it was nice to see a child smile. And that's what people are getting away from, the happiness thing. So I wanted to put some happiness into the, you know, when I got thinking about the book and everything when I got the
Oh yeah,
later
so
on.
when did you say, okay, definitely kids book?
Yeah, and
Did you?
I said it after like the 10th animal I drew.
Okay.
That this is definitely a children's book, and this is the direction this is going into.
And what do you think was the hardest part about it?
The hardest part was putting the words together. You know what I'm saying, for one of the two of the stories in the book. So that was the hardest part. With me being an awful person with spelling.
Well, that's
and
it. Well,
grammar.
what's nice is that we have computers now, lucky, right? You
know.
do the longhand, type it in, but right, you want to make sure.
that everything is right, especially a children's book.
Yes, and yes, and then you also, with your other book, the name of that book is, again, what's the name of that book?
The other book is on a rewrite.
Yes, yes,
I'm
tell
gonna
us
probably
about.
change the book title, but it's about spirit children, young adults, and teenagers. And their lives, and the person gave me the permission to use their story. And
Yeah.
they have the sketches and the book.
And does any of your mediumship kind of say to you, oh, you're going to be an author someday, like 10 years ago, or no? That's not how.
That's not how it happened,
No.
actually, when I was really little. And I'm from Norwood originally, Norwood, Massachusetts, and I was in my parents' backyard, and I said, something just came into my head. You're going to be an author someday. And that
Oh,
was like when I
really?
was 12 years old. And
Oh, wow.
And of course, I was in the program in special education, so like sitting there going, yeah, right. I go,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But that's how that happened.
No,
And so-
that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. So your friend Andrew was really instrumental in helping.
Yeah, and Tina Paris, she helped me too. She
Nice.
helped make sure all the spelling and grammar was right.
Yeah,
And my
that's.
friend Sue Perini, I hope I'm not saying it wrong, Sue, name wrong, Sue.
No, that's all right.
But she helped me to put it together and get it on Amazon. Oh.
And so, no, that's okay. And so, with the story itself, is it just pictures and it matches?
The quote.
Yeah.
the
If
picture
you do,
matches-
you want to read a page of it?
You want to read it?
Yeah,
That's
sure.
wonderful.
Okay, so it's Journey with the Animals. I don't want to.
She's such a good story.
Okay, so if you open the book, it's really nice because I don't know if you can see it here. It's got the seahorse, and we've got.
If you want, I'll read it.
And no, I'll do it.
It's
I'll
okay.
do it, and then it's
Okay.
got the wording. So it's really nice, all colorful, very, very pretty and bright,
And
right?
If you don't mind me telling
No.
about the font, I kept the font big because my son is very hard of singing, and kids love big font. So I figured I
Yeah.
would keep that way. That's why that's like that too.
Yeah, so I'll read a couple
Okay.
pages. The seahorse is enjoying a nice swim while looking for breakfast for his family. Then we're at dolphins. It's very colorful and very bright. The dolphins are happily playing under the sea among the other sea creatures. A baby elephant walks behind while holding its mother's tail to keep up with the group. Yeah, these are really, really nice. And just the detail and the
Yep.
color.
And it's all pencil. It's all, even the book cover. That's why
Yes.
the covers are like that. So
Yes,
yeah.
yes. And how long did it take you to do each photo? So did you do it all in like gray and then you colored it in, or you created colorful pictures right from the jump?
I did it all at once, like you just said. I
wow.
did on the picture, and then I colored it in afterwards with the background and things like that. Made it all colorful.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
so
That's
that was really
nice.
nice.
And so, so I want to say to you and ask you the question because I encourage my guests on All Friends or guests watching All Friends and guests that show up, that how do you get inspired and how would you encourage someone to follow their passions and the different creative things that you're doing, which is quite a bit. How would you encourage someone to do the same?
Just follow your dreams and follow your heart. Like mine, it was my two older, my Michelle and Paul Miranda. They, inspired me to do the kids' book and stuff like that. And just to follow your dreams, because nothing's impossible.
No.
It's not. Just have trust and faith. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes, yes. Now tell me too about the different figurines we have here.
Okay.
Tell me about them.
Each animal, like the elephant, he inspired me, so that's why I got him in the book. And all that's done by life. Still life drawings, too, by the way.
Oh,
so
wow.
Like statues, that's why the figurines are here. And the turtle, they have a very special meaning to me. Meaning if you're willing to stick your neck over a friend, because you know turtles have long necks, and I remember hearing that on another show.
I like
so
that.
I
like that.
Yeah, and the fox is just playful in the you know in the woods and stuff like that, and pretty much having fun, enjoying his home and his environment.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And you're living in near the water now
I'm
and
living
nature,
right
and
across
that.
the street from the
Oh, I love that. I love that, and that must inspire you quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
You know.
It does. It inspires me with everything. And then I like bringing happiness into the world, and like you know what I'm saying, Krystyne.
Yes, yes. Well, I know that your show is very popular with because again, like I said, the whole medium, you know, people do want to have, and that is a gift that you have, you know.
It is a gift, and it's not about me. It's for me to share that gift with others.
Yes.
I'm like I said, I'm just a person in between the veils.
And I think I've asked you before, there is a time where you do shut it off, right?
Well, this is the
'Cause I'm
funniest thing. I tried to shut it off. And when I left Quincy in 2018, I tried to shut it off. And a year and a half ago, I had a stroke.
Okay.
I fully recovered from the stroke, but something happened with everything shifted more, and I was in hospital. And they saw what I did on my chart. So, could I have a reading? But not only would I give them a reading, but their loved ones would come in through on the paper.
Oh, yeah, and that's when you started doing the drawings.
Yeah, even more because they enhanced, because everything shifted.
And were you always an artist? Like, were you an artist in school? Like, were you able to draw?
I even have a old picture, but it got lost when I moved. The teacher wrote down, "This is horrible art."
Well, that is not horrible. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's developed over time.
It developed over time, and you do develop, like even with the mediumship, whatever your gifts are, you know, you do develop over time with all of it, and that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? So.
And you did your live show here for a couple years, because I know my husband came on.
It was Al.
Come on, Al, special guest star, right?
Yep.
But you had a popular show, and it was great, and it's great that you've been able to continue it.
Well, I started it in 2011. I did my first show.
Oh,
one
right.
show.
Wow.
And it was on like in November, but then I did it from 2012 to 2016.
Yeah.
With a year off or two from it.
Right.
But then I came back to it and stuff like that, so.
Yes, because I've been doing my shows since 2010. So, right, you were a part of the mix for a long time here at QATV. Well, Karen, thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing your book, sharing about your unique talents and what you've been able to do with them to, I don't know, share your talents with others through through a show of television, and then your books. So this one's The Journey with the Animals, and tell me the other book that you have.
The other one is Heaven Needs Me More.
Okay.
But we're thinking on changing the book title.
All right, that's in its rewrite. It's rework, right?
It's going to be rewritten because of, like I said, but somebody said, "You're not the only one to pull your book on the shelves after getting it up and published, Ma."
Right.
I'm like, that's really
I have a feeling your kids are really good. They give you good advice, right?
Yeah,
your daughter.
She did give me good advice, and that's what part of being a writer, I guess.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But my other one, I said I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get that one published and stuff like that too.
No,
so.
that's great. And we have been saying for a long time, Karen, you got to come on my show. I'll go on your show. So I was on, and it's on YouTube. I was on her
First my show on
April of last year, and it's
2023.
Whispers of the Other Side, the April, and it was great. And I think they aired it here. We were able to air it, and then it's on YouTube. So that was a really neat one when she does the drawing. It's fantastic. And so I invite all of you to come on the All Friends Cabaret to share your story. I can be reached at, all the social media platforms, Facebook, X, Instagram, and our show is on YouTube, so this will air there and on QATV. And so I invite you to reach out if you have a passion you want to share, some creativity, you're fundraising for your favorite organization. Come on the All Friends Cabaret and share your story, right?
And Krystyne's wonderful. She's a wonderful host, and
thank you.
make everybody feel very welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And so, Karen, thank you so much for coming on
Thank you
the
very much,
show.
Krystyne, for
Finally,
having
we
me.
did it.
Yeah, I know.
We did it.
We did. It was really funny too. I actually got botched 2 times too.
Did you?
Coming on?
Oh, yes, yes.
I kind of like dragged on her a little bit too. And had a
But
little
you
bit
know
of
what?
fun.
We knew it was going to happen,
I
and
know,
we did
just
it.
didn't know when, but this worked out better because, well,
This-
even though people think because March 1st is Friday,
Yes.
there's a nice weather, not necessarily in New England.
No,
so,
no, it's
you know,
it's really nice we could make this work out. So
That's what happened.
I look forward to this show, and I'm so happy to see you, Karen.
I'm so happy to see
and
you,
welcome
too.
back.
And hi, Al.
Yeah, I know. Yes, yes, and we'll see you next time on the All Friends Cabaret. Thanks for joining us.